What's up everybody? Before I start this video, I'd like to give you a little background. I originally uploaded this video about a month ago as it was going to be my big Halloween video, and within the first few days of it being up, it was doing really well in the algorithms. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, YouTube decided that it violated its terms of service when it came to bullying and harassment. The main problematic area was Justin's whole I hate the N-word rant towards the beginning of my video, but it could have been other clips in my video as well. YouTube wasn't being very specific, which was super helpful when it came to re-editing. At first I thought, well screw it, I'll just leave this on my Patreon page as the killer app to draw people in, but after about a month of it being behind a paywall, it just didn't sit right with me. My research partner and I put far too much work into this thing for only 10 people to see it. With that being said, I had to do a lot of censoring to this new version, and the uncensored version is still on Patreon, and honestly, it's a much better video, as is always the case when speech isn't censored. But anyway, whenever I could put subtitles of what was actually said at the bottom of the screen, I did, so you can have some kind of context about what was bleeped out. But at other times in this video, I had to completely obscure entire sections just to cover all my bases. But with all that out of the way, I hope you enjoy the many sins of Justin Silverman. And by the way, it wasn't Justin Silverman who took the video down if you believe his DMs, which I guess I am. Roll it! Lusty Justy Silverman. If you followed my channel at all, you know exactly who this guy is. If you haven't, boy, are you in for some creepy shit. Almost in the theme of Halloween. Justin Silverman has been a major cog in the inner workings of the Cinemassacre machinery for about 10 years now. The only problem is, Cinemassacre is associated with the avgn, Mr. James Rolfe, a known and trusted brand that has been around for approximately 20 years. But like any cog in any machine, they're bound to be ghosts. Oh my god, the double entendre, Dancing with Ghosts, talking about Ghosts in the Machine, which is also a badass Police album. But I digress. Before Justin Silverman got thrown into the Cinemassacre universe via a company he works for called Screenwave, he ran a little channel called Silvermania, and boy was this guy a little edgelord.
I hate the N-word, and by N-word, I mean nerd, not n***er, because that would be racist, and I'm not a racist, I have a black friend. Do you want to pound it out?
Oh yeah. But unlike my bleeped clip, Justin actually said it. Does James Rolfe seriously not vet a single person on his team? Stick around as we root out what other skeletons are hiding in Justin's closet. You're watching Dancing with Ghosts.
Is this really the personality we want to be looking up to? Hey, f*** it! So everything is different nowadays. You shouldn't be peer pressured into liking My Little Pony because it makes you more eclectic. You should be peer pressured into because getting is f***ing awesome. Just be your self and have fun. Times are a-changin', and I think we need to kill ourselves.
Ouch! All that edginess cut my hand wide open! Those video clips that you just saw were from a video Justin uploaded around 2015 called I Hate the N-Word. Around the same time in history, there were little YouTube virgins like me that were trying to copy the avgn JonTron formula. These guys were making game reviews that involved things like swearing and clever jokes, but at the end of the day, these guys weren't trying to subvert their audiences with jokes that were too edgy, because that's clearly a divisive move that doesn't really hold any weight aside from some 4chan edgelords. I really had no dog in those fights, since I was just trying to make entertaining content while still being able to swear and not completely water things down, since YouTube presented itself as a bastion of free speech at the time. Then you had people like Justin Silverman. This guy must have idolized people like Sam Hyde, H3H3, and iDubbbz.
Say
back in the day, of course. All the cool kids who were on the bleeding edge of self-made content creation that didn't rely on all the checks and balances of a major television network. They went there and said on camera for all of eternity things that would have best been left amongst your friends inside your living room, like the once great Slim Shady said.
I'm like a head trip to listen to, cause I'm only giving you things you joke about with your friends inside your living room.
Justin wanted to be every bit as edgy as these guys and certainly tried his damnedest to compete, but ultimately, it just never happened. Justin realized his edgy YouTube persona wasn't working for reasons I will mention later. He ultimately found his salvation through a man named Ryan Schott, who ran a game convention called Too Many Games and owned a little company called Screenwave. Justin seemingly scaled the corporate ladder with ease and would eventually gain the opportunity to work with YouTube legend James Rolfe. This newer, sleeker version of Justin had him dialing the edginess meter down to virtually zero. His problematic videos were scrubbed off the internet seemingly, and his new form as an AVGN-friendly brand associate came into focus. What I mean by that is, sure, the angry video game nerd swore a lot and took diarrhea dumps on consoles, but James Rolfe had established parameters on things he would and wouldn't say, comedic places he would and wouldn't go. If you were to write a spec script for the AVGN, it would never include phrases like, "This game is what kind of made this piece of shit game?" He just wouldn't say that. Gamer words were never his brand, and what's more, when he was out of character, he was even less aggressive with his language. We know this from the horrific rental reviews and Cinemassacre podcasts that would rear their ugly heads around 2021.
I'm a movie person, not as much of a TV person. I've never found the time to catch up with all these shows I should have seen. Never seen Twin Peaks. I'm sorry.
James is not the kind of guy whose instincts would ever lead him to use this kind of 4chan-esque humor, but he did agree to have these former edgelords of Screenwave permeate his content for a while. Again, how does James have so little ability to vet the people who work the closest with him? Just judging off the first few available videos off Justin's Silvermania channel, you can kind of see how these two brands are completely mismatched. For instance, does this seem like content you'd find on Cinemassacre?
Hot sexual healing. Let's see what I can find on Craigslist. Hot, fit, fun for younger playmate in Fenway Park. Let's see, athletic, 6 foot tall, age 42. Ooh, an excellent pick. Ah, perfect. Some hot picks, I need those. Those are perfect. In town visiting this weekend for PAX. Looking to connect with a hot, fun, younger gamer. A twink-type playmate. I am a nice, decent, fun-loving guy who is totally turned on with the sexual dynamic of younger and older.
There you go.
30 male Asian from Brooklyn. Would love to see you in your cosplay with your legs spread wide open. Put my head in between and let me taste your nectar. Okay, that's creepy. Cosplay is a plus, but not required. Okay, and there you go again. Asian 30-year-old male from town for PAX, looking for play. Oh, more pictures of her naked. That's perfect. Wait a minute here. The other picture set is from .com. It's fake. I don't think she's real. So I'm gonna pass on chocolate PlayStation. When he says he's going to Washington to shred some powder, does he mean like he's gonna go to Washington DC and do a fuck ton of cocaine? Or he's gonna go to that shitty ass state of Washington and like actually snowboard? That doesn't look fun, but I'm sick of the whole horse head thing. I hope this guy
Yeah, nah, this is not the vibe of anything James Rolfe would have ever put out, because quite frankly, say what you want about the guy, but he's not a pervert. But what's funny still is how Justin was even aware of James before he started working for him. So much so that he made a super edgy parody video that spoofed the angry video game nerd if he were racist.
Here on the Video Game Nerd, I only play games that are good, which are also games that are racist. Today I'm playing one of the most racist video games of all time, Ethnic. Do you hear that? You know what that means? Miniature Gay is here! That's right, Justin! It's me, Miniature Gay! Ugh! You know what's worse in this game? Rolling Rock. Look at it. It's clear. It's like drinking goddamn Sprite. If you like Sprite, you probably like Rolling Rock.
Well, holy hot damn, that is some edgy content for sure, Justy. Justin would later go on to deny that this parody was even spoofing James at all.
We signed in this racist video game nerd, which isn't really making fun of the nerd of the avgn of being racist or whatever, but it was more stealing that name, because, you know, there's like the black comedy nerd and there's irate gamer.
The happy console nerd.
Yeah, the happy console nerd.
But come on, man, he's got the Rolling Rock beer, there's the putting the game cart in the console shot that I feel like James pretty much invented. I don't know, maybe even back then, Justin knew better than to burn bridges. Making super edgy, bordering on cancelable content was fine, but don't burn that bridge with James Rolfe. But it's not just the content you put out, but the company you keep. Cue Justin Silverman's good buddy Bob.
All right, you ready, Bob McGran?
Yeah, when do you want me to start singing it?
You can sing the Bob McGran song right now.
Bob, 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 Bob McGran. Bob, 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 Bob McGran. He the girl who the guy who has AIDS, and we think he's gonna die. Bob McGran. He is the Jew, of course.
Yeah, well, the Jew always wins.
Yeah, because
you guys are good at.
I got some Israel Defense Force action right here for you.
That
Palestine.
You guys blew up the too. Stop that.
I'm gonna Panzer on your ass.
You don't even know what that was.
It's a fucking German tank.
Yeah, way to go. You guys made Hitler out to be a.
That one's for the Jews, Bob.
He was a great man.
Bob, that's for the 6 million that died in the Holocaust.
That was 600,000, and the only reason they died is because
This was Justin's quirky older guy friend. I don't know what was up with certain YouTubers having anonymous old guys as these crazy reoccurring on-screen personalities, but Justin picked a real winner with this one.
The only thing these are good for is putting in a girl's ass and pulling them back out. Or a man's ass if you're into that shit.
Justin featured this old curmudgeonly pervert named Bob, also known as Gabe at some points, as his proverbial drunk uncle who says crazy shit, but, you know, he's old, so, you know, old people say the darndest things. With that being said, Justin always seemed to know just how to wind Bob up in a way that persuaded him to say something fucked up. For instance, here.
I figured you'd like this game.
Wow.
I love Mary Kate and Ashley. They're the best. Yeah, I was wondering if I could call the Real Doll Company and get real dolls made up of Mary Kate and what's the other one's name?
Ashley?
Ashley?
like how they are nowadays or when they were young?
Yeah, I'm going to leave that up to you to figure it out.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Needless to say, as time went on and Justin obtained new opportunities to advance his career in Screenwave, these old Bob videos and all his other problematic content did not lend itself well to the Screenwave brand, especially not if you're also moonlighting as an impresario of a massive gaming convention like, I don't know, Too Many Games.
Hi, I'm Justin. I work on Cinemassacre, and I've been running Too Many Games for 10 years now.
You know, the first place Rex Viper got their start as a live act. You can thank Lusty Musty Justy for that one. Going back to Bob, though, did I mention Bob, whose real name is Robert McGrawn, is a convicted PDF file? Yeah, it doesn't really come as a surprise if you've been a fan of Silvermania for very long, or if you saw this video. There's all kinds of dubious receipts out there of Justin assisting Bob even after his imprisonment, whether it was removing things from his computer or just covering his ass by adding all sorts of blocked words in his comments filters. Things such as arrested, free Bob, child porn, kitty, kid porn, diddler, and were all there. Fucking yikes! And this was from a live stream that Justin orchestrated. All the self-snitching here is enough to make you question Justin's sanity. Was he this arrogant that none of this could possibly somehow come back and bite him in that supple ass of his? Well, it did. I'm assuming that Justin has Google Alerts set to notify him whenever his name is mentioned online. Hey, Justin, by the way. Here's a channel with only 2,000 subscribers who made a pretty decent video exposing Justin on his various controversies, and Justy clapped back in the comments section, basically saying, I was drunk and sad, this was my way to cope, it was a long time ago, Now listen to me shill some Cinemassacre stuff. Well, yeah, of course you don't make that type of content anymore because one of your main characters was arrested for child porn, and you saw an escape hatch via Big Ryan, the founder of Screenwave. But again, I can't stop harping on the fact that James Rolfe, a family-oriented, fairly clean-cut guy off camera, would endorse a man with this kind of a past.
Oh, she's queefing everywhere. Yeah, reload, you fucking.
You really smoked that one.
You've been watching The Wire too much.
When I'm playing as Gets, I'm unfucking stoppable now.
Whoa!
Even if you took Bob out of the equation, Justin's former sins are, quote, not congruent with the mores and norms of Cinemassacre, just to use a little bit of HR speak. And as much of a piece of shit as Bob is and was, Justin totally used this guy for his own ends until he got pinched by the cops, and then Justin dropped him like a bad habit and decided Silvermania needed to die.
Gee, I wonder why.
I don't know, man. I was simply looking up some kind of avgn video a few weeks ago, found this Silvermania channel, and fell down a deep and disgusting rabbit hole. The rabbit hole of shit! But anyway, there's a lot more, and I honestly can't bear to watch any more Silvermania content, so I'm just going to end the video here. Did you know this much about Justin Silverman before this video? Did you want to know this much about Justin Silverman before this video? Well, now you do. Sorry about that. And in a dramatic, almost avgn-like kind of way, I think wearing my Justin Silverman is my friend shirt, I can't do it anymore in good conscience after all I've seen from doing this video. So I'm gonna burn it. Stick around for that, and until next time, have a good rest of your night.